Should I restart?
No. This is great. This is great, guys. Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com. I'm here with Dave. Got a little camera inception going.
He's gonna post on YouTube. I'll post on social media.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about our dreams.
Yes, our
Right?
dreams. Yeah, dreams.
And so and it's like this is a very different video than what you've been seeing. We've been bombarding you guys.
Not edited.
Yeah, we've been bombarding you guys with a lot of Ravage Star content.
Lots
of, if you're on our email newsletter, you bring in emails every day, Facebook, Instagram, all
Matt's
that.
been writing a ton of emails. But you know what? So we don't talk over each other. I'll meet you at the end, okay? Probably in about 8 minutes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been contemplating a lot on my mind. So yes, the Ravage Star campaign ends today in a few hours at 8 o'clock tonight. Huge thank you to everybody who's already backed and everything. But this video is not really about that, although it's caused by it. I want to talk to you about our hopes and dreams for MiniWarGaming. And the reason for that is because as I've watched this campaign go, campaigns are always stressful. And I've also been dealing with some of my own personal health problems with sleep and everything, but that's neither here nor there, but it does affect everything. I've been wondering, like, what really would make me happy? Like, let's say this campaign did $10 million, right? Let's say it just did so well that we just, become rich because of it. And what it's done is good. It really does help, but it's not cheap making miniatures and getting molds made and all of that. So it's good though. I'm very happy with it. But let's say it did 10, let's say it did 20, $30 million. It's some ridiculous number. I realized, you know what, that wouldn't necessarily make me happy. It's not that I wouldn't want it, but as I've contemplated what would make me happy, I've reflected back on my life as I grew up. What are the things that have really truly made me happy? And I'm not going to say money doesn't help people be happy, because obviously if you're struggling to feed your family, and then you can feed your family, that's going to elevate your happiness. But there's a certain point where money stops making you happier. And when I was a kid, I'm one of 4 kids. I'm number 2. I played a lot with my younger brothers. We played Legos all the time, and we'd build to a theme, castles or spaceships or whatever. And then after we'd build for several hours, we would play with what we built, and I would always be the bad guy, and the 2 of them would unite against me. And I remember always making it like they couldn't beat me until they figured out my one weakness, but I'd always lose on purpose, because that's what bad guys do. And I loved it. I kind of grew up with that, this pre-dungeon master or game master kind of mentality. And then I met Dave when we were both rather young, when we were teenagers. And we got into games together: BattleTech, Battlespace, MechWarrior, the role-playing game, Advanced Fighting Fantasy, which was made by the same guys who started Games Workshop. I found out later. And we just really loved gaming. Yeah, sometimes we played Risk or BattleTech, and it was just like fitting gloves off and just trying to beat each other. But a lot of times it was storytelling experiences. I still remember some of the games we played, because they had these epic moments. And they weren't balanced, they weren't perfect. The games are clunky, and yet it was just me and my friends, as often with Dave, but other friends as well, and my brothers, and we'd play these games and we'd tell stories. And it made me so happy. In the meantime, I didn't realize this, but my wife, my current wife, I've only ever had one wife, but she wasn't my wife at the time. I didn't even know her at the time. She was playing D&D with her friends. Her friend's dad was a dungeon master, and they played once a month or twice a month for a long time. I don't remember. And I didn't know that. So she was already being prepped to be the perfect wife. And then as an adult, Dave and I continued our gaming passion. We played role-playing games, and I'd always dungeon master. Some people complain about being the forever game master, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So we played all sorts of stuff. We played homebrew systems that I created. We played D&D 4th edition. I never played 3.5 until recently, actually. We played 5th edition later on, and other games. And we played lots of board games, obviously we got into miniature war games around that time, 16 years ago now. A little more than 16 years ago is when MiniWarGaming started. And it was just shortly before that we got into Lord of the Rings, and then Warhammer. I'm not even sure. I don't know if I'm going to get to a point in this video, just so you know. This is really me just kind of dumping some of my thoughts, because it's been a lot to process over the last week. And I want you to see that. I want you to see what's going on behind the scenes as we kind of struggle to figure out what it is the identity of MiniWarGaming is. Like, I know you guys might see us a certain way. I'm maybe the producer of battle reports and narrative campaigns, and mainly covering Games Workshop. That's another thing too. A lot of people have said, well, I hope that you overthrow Games Workshop or you become the next Games Workshop. That's not even something that we want to do. We love Games Workshop. Sure, they're not perfect, and their games aren't perfect, and they don't always make perfect decisions, like sometimes far from it. But come on, like let's just appreciate the people and the entities that like create these wonderful experiences for us. Like Dungeons and Dragons is a good example. There are plenty of better role playing systems out there if you look at the game. But who else has led the way to creating such a good experience well, I say who else? Obviously, it's changed hands who owns it. But like Dungeons and Dragons has been to role playing what Warhammer has been to miniature wargaming. And yes, there's others before and there's others after, and there's plenty of really good options. I'm not saying that you have to love Games Workshop and play their games, but like if they grow, we get to grow, both on the media side, and even if we just get into game development and stop covering their games at all, we still want them to grow, because as that grows the industry and people play more than one game. And so if they get people into the hobby, then they might find Ravage Star or one of the other games that we want to develop, and vice versa. And I know that the relationship that we've had with them over the years has been an interesting one, that we cover their game. At first, we didn't have any relationship. We just covered their games. I know we've gotten tens of thousands of people into the hobby and into Warhammer, but it's not like Games Workshop owes us anything for that, because we work together, right? We benefit from it. We've built a business out of it. We make money from it. But and money is obviously a primary concern, because we got to feed our families, right? Like we've got to make money. And yet I can think of other ways I can make money better than MiniWarGaming. The stuff that I know about marketing, I could go into other industries and do way better and make way more money. And I don't want to, because this is where I love to be. Sometimes I forget that. Sometimes I get deep in my own thoughts, or I get too busy to remember just how much I love gaming, and whether it's computer games, board games, miniature games, role-playing games, the full gambit. I am neck deep in all of that. We play D&D every single week, every Monday night, and I DM 2 different groups and 2 different things, and it's a whole lot of work. And every time I try to give up some of it because it's too much, I just get right back into it because I miss it. So what do I want? Well, I want this campaign to do well, because I want the capital to be able to continue doing what we love. And you guys are, and the community is awesome. You guys are awesome. You step up every time we need your support, and you did it this time as well. And I hope a lot of you stepped up because you loved the miniatures and the look of the game that we're creating. And I love the idea that this is going to be a really community-driven game as well. I'm not saying that's the best way to always do stuff. I'm just looking forward to doing more of that. We've already had a lot of really good rule suggestions from people. We have a really active Discord server going on right now. Like, I can barely keep up with all the discussions about suggestions for the rules, and there's been really good ideas in there, like such good ideas, things I would never have contemplated, I would never been able to do. And I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited. And I didn't think I would be. And that's a funny thing to say, because Ravage Star was Dave's thing. You know, he's the one that started it. It was all Veiled Touch, which were just, there was no game associated. They were meant to be proxies in games like Warhammer 40K. Let's look at them like the way they are. But like his own visualization, nice and distinct IP-wise, but at the same time, they work that way, right? And then it just kind of grew. And now we've got the Gorkog and the Imari, which are not meant to be Tyranids, and Votan. The Imari especially, we started to design those before the Votan was even announced that long ago. And the Gorkog are, if anything, they're more like Zerg from StarCraft, because that's more my ideal-looking alien creature, right? But yeah, it's not meant to. We're not here to overthrow the monopoly that Games Workshop has. Like, these guys are great. Like, after this campaign finishes, I'm heading to Atlanta tomorrow to go to the Grand Narrative and play my Tyranids, and I'm gonna love it every second of it. I'm gonna see people that I from Games Workshop that we get along really well, and I don't know if I'd say we're friends, but we're definitely business acquaintances at this point. And I just enjoy all of it, right? And then I'll go to Adepticon. Sure, we'll be showing off Ravage Star, but I'm going to look forward to going around and seeing all the Games Workshop stuff, all of the other hobby stuff, all the other games. I'm going to find other games I want to get into. Yeah, I want to design games, but I just want to play them, right? So where am I going with this? Well, I don't know. We're doing a live stream today. I should probably throw that in there somewhere. At starting probably at noon-ish in Eastern, and we're going to stream right to the end of the campaign. So come on, and we'll see what we do there. But I just want to be able to bring this joy to more people. And I want to be able to focus on that. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. Like, we've built these studios because we love the immersion. We built the hotel rooms because we thought that'd be the coolest thing in the world. We didn't ever think we're going to make millions of dollars from little hotel rooms in Welland, Ontario, Canada. That was never really a thought. It's just every decision is a combination of, will it make us enough money to survive, and is it something we're passionate about doing? And that's such a fine line to kind of tread. And I'm sure there was other thoughts that I wanted to share, and now that I'm just rambling, I'm losing them. But I want to say thank you, I guess, is one thing. Thank you for letting me have my dream job. It means a lot. And sometimes I forget that, because it's still a grind. It's a daily thing, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. We work a lot. We do a lot. But I like I said, anytime I've contemplated, well, what else would I do? I can think, oh, I could make more money doing that or that. I'm like, but I don't want to. I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't be happy. And so, yeah, so thank you. And huge thank you to Games Workshop for helping to grow this industry, and for all the passionate people out there who make games and miniatures and terrain and 3D printable stuff and game mats and all the commissioned painters, of which there are thousands. I can tell you that because I've worked with, over the years, I think I've worked with over 800 different painting commissioned studios, most of them one-man studios. And the train commissioners, and this whole network of hobbyists who, for the most part, don't get rich, right? Very few people are rich in this industry. Most of them are just like us, just enjoying what they're doing, but trying to figure out how to make it fiscally possible to live their dream job while still taking care of their family and taking care of their employees and making sure they can take care of their families. And so I just want to continue to do that. I want to continue to be a dungeon master at home. I want to continue to make narrative campaigns, which I haven't done as many of just because we've been so busy with other stuff, but I want to do more of those because I love them. I want to write more rules for Ravage Star. I want to do awesome narrative campaigns for Ravage Star. I have other game ideas too in my head that I'd love to do, and now that we have the mechanisms to do it, I can. Like, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world to be able to do this. So I know we often see, like, it's Dave that's often the one that's going around and being kind of the personality that way, but I have to say that it's like I just love doing it as well. I love where I am. I just might not have the same energy level that he does to go to all the things that he does and talk to all the people that he does and to post as often as he does. So thank you, I guess, is the point that I'm trying to get to. And if you haven't clicked off by now, I don't know what I even want you to comment. Just what would you like to see? Not just for MiniWarGaming, but just in the gaming industry overall. What would you love to see? And I'm talking like positive stuff. Like, we don't need to criticize. Just positive things that you'd like to see, or positive things that you have seen, or how, you know what, this is what I'd like. If you're still here, I'd love for you to leave a comment, if you're willing, because sometimes this is too personal and I understand, of how wargaming has really impacted your life in a positive way, how it's helped your mental health, how it's helped you and your family, how it's helped you in your relationships. These things that we often can forget as we crunch numbers and try to figure out what's the most optimal thing, or complain when rules don't go exactly the way that they should, or they're not as balanced as they should be, or when things are sold at certain prices, or whatever happens to be. We can get caught up in those details. So just tell me the things that have really positively affected you. Let's really kind of make that the message of this video overall. And again, thank you so much. And I'm not just talking about the Ravage Star campaign, but that too. Just all the support that you've given, whether you're a viewer, a subscriber, a Vault member. Those, they've been key. The Vault members, if you've ever been a Vault member, even for a month, you've only given us a month subscription, you have been fundamentally the important to the growth of MiniWarGaming. And so, huge thank you. If you're still a Vault member, if you're one of those few that have been Vault members for many, many years, like, tremendous thank you. I don't know how to thank you, because obviously, like, individually, like $10 a month, one of those people is not going to like make everything work. But it's just like looking at a tapestry and being like, that one part of the tapestry doesn't matter. That one part of the painting, that one brush stroke didn't matter, and yet you need all of them. So I'm very grateful. And I'm feeling that right now. I'm really feeling genuinely that way right now, and that's why I wanted to make a video like this rather than just being like, hey guys, Ravage Star is just a few hours away, and here's some awesome miniatures you can look, which is what we've been doing all week, right? We've been pushing that. It's time to step back and just be like, yeah. The people who are going to support, and those who can't won't, and those who don't want to, of course, won't as well. So if you want to, links below, or join us in our live stream so we can talk more about this. But thank you so much for your support, and happy wargaming.